People always ask me, how do you speak so many foreign languages, and are you using some special methods to reach such results? And obviously you need to have a strong science-based method like Speakly is using to actually reach language learning results. But to be honest, the most important thing is consistency and forming a habit. So in this video, we will look into the kitchen side of forming a habit, how consistency actually works, and why 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 if you already have a habit. Let's go. By the way, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell to get useful videos about language learning and learning motivation. But now back to the video. Now, success in language learning actually comes down to one single thing. Are you consistent in your studies or not? Now, you might know this. This is common knowledge, but very often we don't think about why it is like that. Why do I need to be consistent to reach results in learning anything? It would be wonderful if we could just learn something once per week and we could reach equal results than learning every single day, right? But there are specific, even physical reasons in our bodies of why we need to be consistent in what we are learning. And in this video, you will find out what these things are so that you could use those things for your benefit. Now, learning a language, as you might have seen me say in other videos, doesn't need to be 3-4 hours every single day. It's enough if you study 10-15 minutes every single day. For example, in Speakly's case, what you can see here on the screen at the moment is that it's an optimal pace to learn about 5 new words every single day. Now, an average learner usually takes about 10 minutes to reach 5 new learned words, which is a wonderful little optimal time slot every single day to integrate into your daily activities. Now, I was saying that these study activities need to happen every single day. And let's look into why it is the case and what you should take into account if you want to be successful in learning a language that you are learning at the moment. A simple way to think about why learning anything new needs to be consistent is thinking about working out. Now, you probably have been to the gym. I have as well. But imagine for a second that you will go to the gym for the very first time. You have never been there before, or it was a long time ago when you last went to the gym, and now you are going to the gym again to start working out. Now, you will arrive to the gym, and that's the first thing. Usually what we do is we have a little training schedule or something, and we pick up weights and we start lifting them, right? Now, imagine yourself in a situation where you are holding a weight and you're starting lifting it like that, or in some other movement, depending on what muscle group are you training. Now, let me ask you a question. What is your body thinking at this specific moment when you're picking up the weight and starting lifting it? Now, I'm using the word think here very specifically because in reality, what we can see based on research is that your body is thinking much more than you think it is. In every single second, there are billions of processes happening in our bodies simultaneously, and our body's thinking capacities are much more powerful than our conscious minds. We can think of several things at the same time, like, I want an ice cream or I want to go to the movies, but we can't think of like a billion things at the same time. So you can see the difference here. That's the first foundational belief that we need to understand, is that our bodies have much more thinking capacity and power than we usually think that they have. Now, let's come back to the question. What is your body thinking at the moment? Now, what we see based on research is that most probably your body will be confused. Now, why confused? The reason is actually quite simple. Everything that our bodies and minds want to do is to help us live a better life, to be more successful, to earn better, to have great relationships, and so forth. So our bodies are always doing everything that they can to help us out to, number one, as a priority, stay alive. And number 2, 3, 4, 5, do the things that we need to do to be more successful in the society. Okay, that's kind of the foundational point number 2 that we have to keep in mind. Now, why is our body confused when we are lifting weights for the first time? Because most probably you haven't done this specific movement before, and your body is very logically thinking, okay, what is this now? Is this something that I'm going to do every day? Or maybe, let's see, maybe it's like a fluke. It will go away. He or she only needs to do it once, and then after that it doesn't happen anymore. Okay? Quite literally, that's how a habit creation starts. It starts with confusion and a lot of questions from your body's side primarily. Now imagine that you're going back to the gym tomorrow. Most probably your body will be confused again, because it will see that, okay, you're doing again this weird behavior, this weird action, lifting some weights in a way that you haven't done before, and it's the second day in a row. And your body will be, okay, that's weird. It's already the second day. Maybe it's also a fluke. It's some extreme situation that this person is in. Let's see what happens. Now, if you continue going to the gym, then what will happen is quite magical. Your body, in a specific moment, will think, and again, using expressively the word think, okay, this specific action that you're doing is now something that you're doing every single day. Therefore, it's a part of your life and your normality, okay? Therefore, I will help you to do this action, because obviously it is linked somehow with your well-being, because otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. I hope it makes sense to you. There is a specific communication going on all the time between ourselves, our actions, coming from the outside. You know, I want to be more beautiful, I want to be smarter, I want to speak this or that language. These are all the things that help us be more successful in the environment where we live. Our bodies are constantly communicating with all of this and seeing which are the things that actually are important to us to make a decision what to support and what not to support. Now, this is closely linked of how habits are created. And that's basically a habit that I was explaining just now. A habit is a single behavior that we have convinced our bodies in is important to us now from that day on. And a habit is created if your body is convinced that, yeah, okay, I comply, I see that this action is now important for you, even if it might sound or seem weird at first, okay? So this is very important to understand. Now, related to habit creation, you have probably heard that it takes around 14 to 33 days to form a new habit. Now, studies are saying different things here, and there are many studies about this. You can find those studies online, but basically studies say that it takes around 14 to 33 days of consistent action to form a habit. Now, this is exactly the time, depending on the individual a little bit, what it takes for your body to comply with this action that you're doing. Okay, these are actually the same things. Now, think about this in language learning perspective. You are starting to learn, let's say, Italian or Russian or Spanish. The process will be exactly the same. You will pick up Speakly for the first day, and your body will be like, okay, this is weird. I've never heard a word of Spanish, maybe it's a fluke. You will pick it up on the second day. It will happen again. Your body will be confused. Now, what needs to happen is that you need to hit the 14-day mark as a minimum. If you hit the 14-day mark, you have studied 14 days in a row, then there is a very high chance that your body will comply with this action that you're doing. Even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes per day, it doesn't matter. Your body will comply with this action, and you will find that doing this specific daily learning activity in Spanish, for example, will be almost automatic because your body is supporting developing this new skill that you have convinced your body that is important to you now. Okay? If you look at this from such an evolutionary perspective, creating a habit actually becomes something very logical, and it's so human. So for example, imagine that you have a child who wants to learn Spanish. Okay? The first thing that you want to see is that they would be consistent in it before you would pay money, for example, to hire a tutor, for example, right? Or you need to see that they actually like it, that they actually are consistent, that it's actually usable and needed to learn these skills to be more successful. It's exactly the same thing. It's such a human value. So next time when you're learning with Speakly, then keep this in mind, that it literally doesn't make sense to learn only 1 or 2 days per week. You won't create a habit. It doesn't happen like that. It's actually against how our bodies and minds work. We are not built that way. It's the age-old problem of people not reaching results that they are looking for. But the problem is that they are not just consistent enough. Now, you might have the question, okay, which is better? A person who learns only 10 minutes per day but does this every single day consistently? Or a person who studies 4 hours a day, 2 days per week? Now you can already see, based on what we discussed before, how the first person is much smarter, because the first person is using our innate capabilities and our evolutionary patterns, which are already inside of ourselves, okay? You see, it doesn't make sense to learn a lot 1 day per week, but it makes sense to learn a little bit every single day because it's much more efficient. That's why consistency always wins. You can't beat that. You can't hack the system. It's very difficult to hack a system that has been developing for such a long time as the human body has and our psychology has. You know, it's a developed system that we should use for our benefits and not trying to go past its mechanisms. Now let's arrive to the second part of this video, which is about the compound effect. Now, if you don't know what the compound effect is, it will probably change your life and it will blow your mind. And to dig deeper, after watching this video, check out this book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect. Most certainly this book has changed my life and how I achieve what I achieve. Now, I was saying to you in the beginning of this video that we will speak about how after successfully forming a habit, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore. And it's absolutely correct. Now, if you think about the compound effect, what this actually says based on research is that if you are consistent in your actions, then day by day your daily actions don't have the same value anymore as they did before or in the beginning of the process. They will have more and more value because the results that they give will be much bigger than just the first steps that you did. Basically, the more consistent you are, the more efficient every single minute of your studies is going to be, because the results will not be only the nominal 1, but it will be more. So 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore, it equals 3, 4, 5, or even 10, or even 100 if you have been consistent long enough. By the way, there's also an option to get some Speakly merch. So if you like Speakly and if you're learning some languages and you would like to show it to people around you as well, then check out the merch on the Speakly store. There are sweatshirts, t-shirts, mugs, and much more. So check it out and inspire people around you to learn languages as well. Now, I hope this video was so useful for you, and next time when you study with Speakly, you can consciously think about that every single day when I'm studying for 10 minutes is actually having a massive impact not only today, but in 2 weeks, in 4 weeks, in 6 weeks. And being consistent is the secret key in learning anything very fast.